these are my Java library imports. JavaNet.http is used to make the API request. These are my private static final string token is my access token. Spotify requires the authentication, and then I stored it in a constant variable to make it easy to find and replace. And then my main method, public static void main string args. This starts my program and creates a list of artists I want to analyze. A hash map keeps a track of each genre and how many artists it falls into. Then I have my for loop for each artist name. It gets called by the get artist data to fetch the JSON from Spotify. If it succeeds, it passes the JSON to extract genres to get a list of strings, then calls the update genre count to update the map. If it fails, it prints a message instead of crashing. And then my system.out println, my for loop under that, it prints the final map in the readable format. Then I have my public static JSON object get artist data for my string artist name. This function handles the making of an API call to Spotify. It returns the JSON object representing the first matching artist. And then I have my string encoded artist equals artist name dot replace. It encodes the space in for the artist name and the URL. And then I have my string URL one, or my URL equals the URL plus the artist. It constructs the Spotify search. HTTP request equals HTTP request.newBuilder. Builds my HTTP request with authorization headers. And then I have my get, which means we're just retrieving the data. And then I have my HTTP client, which sends the request and gets a response in a string format. And then I have my if statement. It checks if the response was successful. If it equals the status of 200, it's okay. This prevents errors or when something goes wrong. And then I have my JSON object, JSON response. It parses the JSON and extracts the first artist. And then I have my if statement that returns the JSON object for further processing. And then I have my system out print. This is for an error. It prints a message instead of crashing. And then I have my extract. I use an extract genres in my public static list string. I have an if statement that takes the JSON data and pulls out all genre strings, converts each to lowercase so that pop with capitalized P and pop with the lowercase p count as the same genre. And then I have my public static void update genre count. I have a for loop for my string genre that reads through every single one of my genres. It goes through the genre and increments its count in the map. Uses get or default to simplify logic. And then, yes.